Do you want to close deals faster? Well, this automation links Pipedrive and ClickUp so that your sales and operations are constantly in sync. Let me show you how it all works. So as you can see on the right hand side, I've got ClickUp opened, and on the left hand side, I've got Pipedrive open. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to move this deal into needs defined and check what happens. So I've moved it there. And then what happens is that automatically ClickUp is going to create a task with regards to this deal. So as you can see, if I refresh over here, there we go. The task has been successfully created. It says here, prepare proposal for marketing creatives deal. So this here is from Pipedrive, and you can see that it's been populated as a task into ClickUp. So as you can see, this is some information with regards to this task, and you can see it says here, marketing creatives deal has reached the needs defined stage, prepare proposal to send to company contact. And then we have the contact name over here, and then we also have the deal ID, which is great. Awesome stuff. So let's say now, hypothetically speaking, that this task has been completed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on mark as completed. And then what's going to happen is that it's going to sync into Pipedrive and it's going to go to the next stage. So look over here, it goes into the next stage, proposal made. Great stuff. So it was in needs defined, now it goes to proposal made. Now if I click on proposal made, as you can see down below over here, there's also a note for the sales team. It says here, proposal for this deal marked as ready to be delivered. And so we can see the integration as well as the sync that is happening between Pipedrive as well as ClickUp. This is an amazing automation. Hi, my name is Peter from Connex Digital. We are an automations and integrations company that specializes in Pipedrive as well as ClickUp automations. If you're interested in working with us, please be sure to book a free discovery call with us. If you want more information, please check the links down below in the description of this video. Without further ado, let me show you how you can build this Pipedrive as well as ClickUp automation. Alright, let's get into it. The digital automation platform that we'll be using to build this automation is Zapier. And in actual fact, this time around, we'll be using 2 Zaps in order to build this entire automation. We'll be using this Zap over here, and then second of all, we'll also be using this Zap as well. So let's get into the first Zap. Let me take you through it. The first Zap focuses on when a deal stage has changed within Pipedrive. And so here is the trigger action. So it's a Pipedrive action. So essentially when a deal moves to needs defined within the pipeline, then that's when this trigger action is going to be activated. And so when it moves to needs defined, then this is when the automation is going to be triggered. Once that happens, then after that, we're going to go out of here, and then we're going to find the actual deal from Pipedrive. We're finding out which deal has moved into the needs defined stage. And so that's what we're doing here. We are then locating it in terms of the ID of the deal, and then we're getting an exact match of that specific deal. Then once we get the exact match of that specific deal, we're also getting the organization name. So that's why I put here the title, which is the organization name, and then that's all we need to do. This is set and this has been configured. Then once we get the actual deal, what we're going to want to do is, before creating a task, we're going to want to format that specific deal. Why is this the case? We want to create a timeline of when this task is actually going to be delivered, when this task of the deal is going to be completed. Essentially, this is why we're adding this action over here of formatter by Zapier, which is a great feature that Zapier has. So if you look on the right hand side over here, you can see it says here transform, add or subtract time. And then as an input, we've put here current time. So this is actually a variable that you can get within Zapier. So I've just put in here current time, and then the expression is you need to add an additional 5 days, and then we put it into this specific format. So this is a nice feature when it comes to configuring time, and that's exactly what we did over here within Zapier. Okay, great. So once we have configured this action, then we are going to create the last action, which is create a task within ClickUp. And so let me take you through it. So the workspace would be just the workspace that you have in ClickUp, and then you create the space. Here it has no folder, and then it's important to also have a list within this space that you're working in. And then from there, this is what I did. I started with the task name. So as you can see, it says prepare proposal for, and then we get here the title of this specific deal in Pipedrive. So prepare proposal for the title, so that would be the task name, and we're mapping this from Pipedrive. And so here for task description, I've started with title from Pipedrive, deal has reached this specific stage within Pipedrive, and then prepare a proposal to send it to a company contact. So this would be the task description that exists within ClickUp. And then from here, we go into the task status. I've set that to do. So there's many statuses that exist within ClickUp. So once this task is created, then it will automatically then be started as to do, and then priority level is 2. And then here, this is where the previous action comes into play, because remember I was stating that we used the formatter by Zapier action. And so once we get this output, this result, it's going to end up in this section over here. We're mapping it from the previous action. And then last but not least, down here below, this is where you're seeing custom actions. You're seeing custom fields that exist within ClickUp. And so we're mapping two things over here so that we can have more rich information of the specific deal. We are mapping the deal ID that comes from Pipedrive. So we're also mapping the contact name that comes also from Pipedrive. And so this is a very nice feature when it comes to custom fields. And then once we're done with that, then this specific automation has been successfully completed. Remember, the focus of this specific Zap is to watch for when a deal has moved within the pipeline into a different stage. And once it has moved into a different stage, being the needs have been defined, then that's when this automation is going to be kicked in, and then a task is going to be created for that specific deal. So that's the focus of this Zap. Now it's time for me to show you the second Zap and how you can actually build it. So this Zap focuses on when a task has been completed, then what's going to happen is that it's going to sync automatically into Pipedrive, and then a note or a message is going to be then sent to the sales teams. So this is what the Zap is focusing on. So let's go into the actions so I can show you. So again, the actions show here, and this is a ClickUp action. It shows the workspace, the space, the folder, and then the list. And then here it's watching for when the task has been completed within ClickUp. And so that's why it says here task status is equal to complete. And so we're waiting to see when a task has been completed in ClickUp, and then this automation is going to be triggered. So that's the first step. So once the task has been successfully completed, then we move on to the second action. And so the second action is update deal within Pipedrive. And what is happening here? What's happening here is that once the task is completed in ClickUp, then the deal is going to move into the next stage. And so the next stage within the pipeline is then proposal has been made. And then we're also locating the deal ID of the specific deal in Pipedrive. And so we are mapping the custom field deal ID from ClickUp. And so that's why it was important for us to create custom fields within ClickUp so that we can map it into this field over here. So this is where we are locating and matching the specific deal. And then once the deal has been updated, then we're going into the last action, which is creating a note. This is creating a message for our sales teams or our sales reps in terms of this specific deal. And all we're doing, because we already got the deal ID within Pipedrive, we are mapping the deal ID over here, and then we are creating the note. So as you can see, here's the content of the note, and it says here, proposal for this deal marked as ready to be delivered. And so this message can then be spread across with your sales teams, and then they can see what is happening with the specific deal. Once we're done with that, we're going to close, and this automation is completed. This is how you can also build the second Zap and the second automation. And these are just two different ways of how you can really build awesome automations in Pipedrive as well as ClickUp. If you're interested in us building this for you, please be sure to book a free discovery call with us. We'll be more than happy to assist you with building these awesome automations. If you want more information, please check the links down below in the description. And you can also visit our website, which is connex.digital. If you like this video, please be sure to give us a like and comment down below what stood out for you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that we can give you more valuable content. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.